Hello, happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the Abomination Goddess Podcast. We are happy to have you here with us. I have Casie Halseth with me. She is an imaginative author of Abomination Born, which is the book that you can see on the screen. It is a portal fantasy book that brings mystical realms to life. It is also a really cool and unique inside perspective into her life. So I recommend that everybody go out and buy it today. It is such a good book. Casie is also an award-winning public speaker, and I think that you'll find by watching this podcast and by reading her books that she is effortlessly just draws her audience into her world, both in the book and on the stage. She is deeply passionate about creating welcoming spaces for those who feel like they don't quite fit the mold, cherished by their loved ones, yet often misunderstood. Casey's teachings and inspirations are rooted in the old ways of her matriarchal Hungarian Norwegian heritage, which is so fascinating to listen to. And she invites us all to explore a world where mystical meets the personal and where extraordinary feels just within reach. And this is why I love having her with me each Wednesday. So, welcome, Casie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yay. I am Ashley Kim. I am the author of Villain Era Goddess. I keep saying that it's going to be out soon, and it really is. I just finished my final edits from the author copy that I got in the mail, and so I will be pushing those out, and it will be ready. So I think it usually takes about 5 days, and then it's out there ready to be purchased. I wrote this book to help women on their journey as they set boundaries and build confidence and just heal themselves. And for many of the women reading this, we are, coworkers, mothers, wives, and we are trying to juggle everything in life while also healing ourselves and our inner child, but also, healing our own children if we have them too. So it's a very honest and open look at what I went through and the tools that I used to survive my villain era. I am the founder of a digital marketing agency, and I use my experience to guide female entrepreneurs to strengthen their confidence online. And I also really enjoy working with authors. So, welcome, Casie. I am excited for today. I really enjoy our Wednesday talks, and I don't know, I needed it. I'm ready. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and I highly recommend your book. It's
Thank you.
for myself, I've always been kind of out there on another limb or something, and your book talks to people like us.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. I'm glad it spoke to you that way. That is my goal. There are a lot of us out there who read self-help books and we don't necessarily connect as much as we would like to, or we're not sure what to do with it. Like that's how I am anyway. I would read a self-help book and be like, okay, well now what do I do? And so I wrote this to be the explanation and the now what, so that you do know what to do moving forward. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully more women connect with it as well.
Yeah.
Yay. All right. So let's get a book update on you because your first book is out and ready to
hmm
purchase. Your
hmm
second book is going through editing. Is that
Yes.
correct?
hmm
And
There's 4 edits it goes through, and it's in the second edit.
oh, fun. Okay. Awesome. Yay. So we're closer to the second book, which I can't wait for. And then you're already working on your third book, right?
hmm
Yeah. Yay. That's so exciting. I cannot wait to learn more about it. When will we get a sneak peek of the second book?
Maybe in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yay. All right. I love it. All right, we'll wait for it then. Okay. All right. So, my favorite part of the podcast is when we look at our tarot cards and oracle cards. Let's start with you. Which one do we want to start with, the stone or
Yeah, let's start
the...
with the stones because
Okay.
this all started with the stones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Oh,
I
what
pulled up amber today. It was just calling to me.
hmm?
And amber is a stone that it's just like the all stones remember everything because the minerals have been here for like forever. Well,
Yeah.
amber is petrified plant, and they also remember everything, and so they remember our dreams, and they
Oh,
remember what is best for me in my dreams. And I absolutely love amber. And let's go to the next one. Okay, here it talks about transmuting dreams into reality. Amber can do that. And then go to the next one.
Yep.
Uh,
Oh, nope,
I
not that
pulled
one. Or this one?
that it's okay. Go to the picture of the Four of Swords. I pulled up the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords is sort of like the same thing. You're
Hmm.
kind of in a sleeping state and you're dreaming because the amber is holding all your dreams and you're about to wake up. And an animal for the Four of Swords is the zombie toad. And the
Oh,
zombie
really?
toad, I have a picture of that one too. That's
Is
the
it in here?
zombie. Yeah, that's the one with all the cactus looking thing standing there. Yeah,
Okay. Oh, yep.
there's the zombie toad. Okay, so the zombie toad is a creature that is under the ground and waits until everything is right. When the water starts to come down in the desert, the zombie toad will wake up. And
Mm.
so it's telling me that this is a time that we're all starting to wake up. Things are starting to get into position, and this is the waking up time. It,
Yeah.
and the amber is telling me that our dreams are coming true.
Mhm. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. I think that is a good thing to hear right now.
Hmm. Hmm.
I love that. Okay, what do we have here? Oh,
Well, more information about the Four Swords.
mm-hmm. Oh,
We
oh,
needed
and
this
this is
time
the,
of, yeah, we needed this time for rest and recuperation. All this downtime that we've had, we
yeah,
need this. And so the Four of Swords is telling us that it's about to wake up now.
yeah. Let's look at the amber again. That's
Yeah, isn't
gorgeous.
that something? That's my
Yeah.
ring. I've got the ring on, and that's a piece of
Um,
amber.
yeah, I love this.
Yeah.
That's interesting talking about dreams because I usually don't remember my dreams, but lately I have been, and they have just been absolutely wild. Just the weirdest things, that you could think of, is evidently what's going through my head at night. So I've been trying to get better at documenting them just so I can go back later and, look at them and see if I can derive any kind of meaning out of them. But um, yeah, so far, I don't know. They're pretty crazy.
Do you sleep with a pen and paper next to you?
No, I don't. I should do that.
I do, and I
Yeah,
even have a little battery operated, or it's a rechargeable light, a really small one that sits right above the paper, so I can turn that on and scribble
okay.
something, and then shut
Yeah,
off that little light, so I'm
okay.
not
That's a good
disturbing
idea.
anyone. Hmm.
Yeah, that is a really good idea. I should start doing that. Yeah, I've just been trying to keep the memory until I can sit down and journal for the day. Doesn't always happen.
My brain won't hold it.
Yeah, I know mine usually doesn't either. Okay, so oh, I forgot to bring in my notes on this. So this morning I was originally just going to draw one card for the day, but then the upside down magician came with it, so I just kept it. But it was super interesting because yesterday I can't remember the card I pulled, but it had to do with friendships and things like that. And then the meaning on the oracle or the tarot deck for this one kind of said the same thing of friendships and going back and reconnecting with people and things like that. And then I thought it was interesting to get the magician upside down because it said just be careful as you start reconnecting that you make sure everyone is um has the highest good for me. So I don't know, I was going to ask you what you I don't know what you see when you're looking at this too. Sorry, it's kind of a dark photo.
No, it's good. It's good. For one thing, you're dealing with the Six of Cups, and remember, cups have to do with emotions. And
Yeah.
uh, uh, Five of Cups is the one where okay, you've already been through it. You've already been through the problem with something. And so the Six of Cups, and that's why this magician is upside down, like you said, that it's kind of warning you, sort of. But so the Six of Cups and the upside down magician, that is what it's doing. It's trying to, it says, well, uh, watch your next step. Don't let other people tell you what your next step is. Go with your gut, go with your feeling. What is your next step?
Yeah.
Whatever you feel drawn to doing.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, I thank you. That does make sense to me, and I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a surprising little combo this morning that I had to really think through. But it is nice though. I really enjoy doing this each day. I'm still looking at the Sacred Cycle Oracle cards as well, just because I just really enjoy them. And today I had the crone, which was exactly the same message exactly as what you just said, as far as the crone, she stops really worrying too much about what everyone else is thinking, and she moves forward doing what she thinks is best for her. So I would
Mhm,
say that's pretty much exactly what you said, Casey.
mhm,
So
mhm.
yeah, they went together in such a lovely way, and I just love the card. I love that. I think it's a raven. It could be a crow. I'm not good with
It's a
differentiating those right
crow.
now.
I
It's
would
a
say
crow.
that's a
Okay.
crow. The raven has a bit of a hump on
Oh,
its
okay.
beak, and so
Okay.
unless she didn't draw it right, but I imagine she thinks it's a crow.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
okay, well, both the crow and the raven, they're going to be bringing messages. They're going to be letting you know. They're talking to your inner self.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
if you're out and about and you need to know an answer for something, a direction to go, just take a moment and look around. And within nature, something will help you, guide you.
Oh, I love that. That is such good advice.
We're
Thank you.
never alone. We're never
Right.
alone. Even if you're in a
Right.
big city, you're never alone. There's always
Yeah.
something.
Oh,
You
yeah.
it could be just an ant that you notice, or of course now it's winter time, so it's going to be harder, but maybe it'll be someone out walking their dog, and all of a sudden the dog looks at you and that they're sending you that message.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, you're right. Even in the city, even in the wintertime, I have squirrels, bunnies, birds. I still have raccoons, the neighborhood cats. We have a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we even still get a bug inside. A spider woke up the other day, and I think he was just as confused as we were. I also liked the flower sitting on
Mm-hmm.
top of her head.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I mean, this might have a lot of meaning to a bunch of different people, but to me, it reminded me that even as I age, I am still, growing, and I'm still new, and I'm going through all those cycles inside of myself, even while I age. And so I kind of liked that, of like the possibilities and the connection kind of just sitting right there on her head.
And that's manifesting. That's the lotus flower, and it's your manifest. You're
Hmm.
taking, you've got the spiral from above her
Yeah.
heart, and it's
Yep.
taking it from the idea from the crow, and the crow is saying now is the time, and then the idea is coming from the heart and going up into the head and coming out the head into a manifesting state. So
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
becoming
yes.
real.
Yep. I love it. Let's see. Oh, I just also took a picture of just kind of my setup today. I had my journal, and then I had my oracle cards and my tarot cards, and it was a nice, peaceful morning. Um, I was also going to share a picture of my fennel. I harvested it in the fall, and then I just kind of let it dry out on its own. But yesterday was a little bit of a stressful day for me, so I just really enjoyed just finishing harvesting my fennel, and just getting my hands on the plant and separating the seeds out. And um, oh, here we go. So I kind of sometimes I save the stems just to burn in my fire pit. Once spring comes around, I'm back outside. But today I sprinkled the stems just outside my front door and just let them stay there. But it was good. I have a really strong connection with my herbs from my garden. So if it comes inside from my garden, I almost just want to hoard it. I don't want to let it go. So I had let the fennel dry for a while just because I didn't want to put it away yet. But since yesterday was stressful, I got it out and got my fingers in there and separated the seeds and did everything I needed to do. So now I can have wonderful teas with it. But I just think it's a good reminder to pay attention to what are the natural things that make you feel good? I know, Casey, you have your stones, and I talk a lot about my herbs, or I love burning stuff, love burning the herbs and the incense sticks and all the things, but it's amazing when you connect with those natural things, even just petting your dog. It's different than consuming social media or looking at the newspaper, watching TV. Like it really does do something to your body and to your soul. So yesterday was my finished up all of my fennel.
And remember that we have the planetary alignment right now.
Yes, yes.
That it begins now and it goes on till like the 28th of this month.
The
And
28th. Okay.
yeah, it'll
Yeah.
keep on going. And I got to see a little bit of it uh, early this morning, like about 4:30, I think it was this morning. I could just begin to see, and it was going diagonally across the sky. I was looking at the south, I mean the that west northwest. I was in the looking up the northwest corner. I'm dyslexic. I had to think about my directions. Northwest, yeah, and it was, it's just really pretty how they were coming up. And apparently it comes up kind of diagonally, and apparently it'll kind of straighten out a little bit as the
Mm,
time goes
okay.
on.
Yeah. I need to
We'll
go out and
see.
look again. My daughter and I went out the other night and it was really neat. It was earlier in the night, so we were basically just looking straight up at a few of the planets. I didn't get to see all of them, but oh, it was so cool. Um,
So this is reset time, and your cards and my cards are all talking about reset. Let's,
yes. Yeah.
it's
So
a special time.
it is a special
We're
time.
celebrating the
And
return of the sun, the return of the
mhm,
light.
yep. Yes. Finally. Yeah, it is definitely a reset time for I think so many people, and it's a good even just getting the tarot cards and the oracle cards, it's a good reminder to celebrate a reset time because it can feel
Yes,
uncomfortable if you're not ready
that's
or
right.
if you're not cognizant of it happening, it's going to feel very uncomfortable. And a reset does not always mean glitter and rainbows. Like sometimes a reset can involve some ickier things too, hopefully not, but sometimes it does. But to know that a reset is happening or a change is happening, it makes way for something better. So I don't know. That has been kind of what I've just been focusing on. And um, you know, I don't know. It seems like a bunch of things are piling up lately. And for example, my refrigerator sounds like it's going to take off into outer space. We don't know why, but it's just little things like that, are piling on. But you know what? Whatever. I know that, we'll get up over this hump and come back and it's going to be great. So we'll get there.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. How do you handle, I don't, like the reset or I don't know how to explain this because I was trying to talk to my mom about this is like when you know a change is coming, but there's always like I don't know, kind of like the story arc, it comes to the climax and then it comes back down. How do you prepare for that? Because you see that coming, and usually the climax in a book is a battle scene or, some kind of drama, but the outcome of it is always really good. And so it's like, I don't know, how do you prepare for it? I
Well,
got my
one of
hands
the
in fennel, but
well, yeah, that's a good idea, actually. One of the things that I realize is that if we're lucky enough to live long enough, all the things kind of work their way through and work it out, you know. So people, we used to live in Florida, and so many people I knew were in their late 90s. And
Mhm.
they would tell me, you know, how everything would go into these cycles and change. And you know, they knew that they were at their last part of their cycle, and they could look back and see how absolutely everything that happened was exactly what needed to happen for them to be where they were at then. it,
Yeah.
it was just, well, as an example, you know, we were in Sedona, and we had a really nice home in Sedona. We were having a good life in Sedona, and so all of a sudden this bird flies through the wall, a spirit bird, and he goes inside, and he tells me that we're moving, and he takes me to where we're moving to. And you know, I didn't want to leave Sedona. I mean, who would want to leave where you're surrounded by everybody who's like you know? And
Yeah.
uh, it has turned out to be a very good thing. I remember describing our new home because the bird show took me to our new home. I remember describing it to Al, and I told him, well, it's going to be right by the water, and but there's a hill in front of the water. And he says, no problem. We'll just get a big bulldozer and take that hill away so we can have a nice view of the water. And we get here, and it turns out that hill is core property. You know, you can't you can't bulldoze it.
Here to
And then we
stay.
find out, well, then we find out that during the real heavy rains, if we didn't have that hill, we would have been flooded. We had to get out
Oh,
with a canoe. And so
yeah.
it's all these things, you know, how they happen. Uh,
Mhm.
and I absolutely love living in the Ozarks, but I love living in Sedona. But here, I have seen more spirits and done more since we moved here than I did even in Sedona. And that was
Really?
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, that is wonderful. I love that. And I think that just takes so much trust, to do that. And I think that is wonderful. That is, I don't know. And even, in my book, I talk about that trusting your intuition and that inner guidance that you're getting. And, yours was a bird. Um, but somebody else's, it could be something totally different. The message
Mhm.
could come in, while they're looking at a candle or washing their hair in the shower. Who knows? But trusting that is paramount in the life that you build for yourself. And I think that's amazing.
Well, the reason both my husband and I trust it is because when we haven't, there's been all kinds of things that'll happen that'll stop us in the
Mhm.
direction we thought we should go. And we both
Yeah.
know, okay, we're surrendering. The universe is
Hmm.
showing us where we need to go and what we need to
Right.
do next. And so
Yeah.
then when we surrender to it, it's like you know you're on the right path because that calm comes over you.
Yes.
And that's exactly what happens.
Yep. Yeah. And I think that's important too, is when you are fighting it, you have a heaviness kind of on your shoulders and upper chest area. And when you finally accept it, even if you're not happy about it, that lifts right off. Like it's a relief when that
Yeah.
happens. Even if you don't have all the answers, you're not sure what's going to happen next, but there is a relief that lifts off of you so that you do know, okay, yeah, that was the right. I am
My
listening and I,
my prayer always to the universe at that time is that I need the strength to be able to go through this next phase. It might be good for me, it might, who knows what,
right.
whatever it is, I pray for the strength to be able to go through it. And
Yeah.
my sister calls that the silent prayer. You know, she
Mhm.
turns it silent because you don't even have to ask for the strength because obviously the other side knows what you need.
Right. Yep. I think that is one of my favorite things to do. I learned that from you a few months ago.
Hmm.
And that would, yeah, I would say that's one of my favorite things to do. It calms
Hmm.
my nervous system. It calms everything pretty quickly.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I love that. And do you want to explain what that is just real quick in case somebody hasn't heard you explain that before?
Well, if you're faced with something that's very, very difficult, and you go to the higher source and uh, put yourself in that place. I like to see it in because I'm a visual. I like to see myself like I'm inside this giant straw, and inside the straw is all this white light coming down, and I'm right in the center of it, and I'm willing to let whatever needs to be happen, and then I'm hoping that I will have enough strength to go through it. And,
Yeah.
I keep myself in that place. And the more I talk, the worse it gets. So I have to stay silent in there. I'm high audient, you know.
Yep.
What about
Oh,
if
I
I'm
love,
asking spirit, well, what about this? What about that? And so no, I have to stay silent. I
yes.
stay I
Yeah.
stay in this light beam during that.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I don't take it lightly. I use it during very
Hmm.
important times.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I picture it differently. And this is why I love talking with you because we both do things differently, and I love that.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
I picture it as me almost creating a ball of energy of what I of what I need, the outcome that I'm supposed to be believing in or trusting in. I make kind of like a ball of energy, and then I put it on my throat and my heart because same thing. I don't want whatever comes out of my mouth to ruin me getting to where I'm supposed to go, or or to give me even more obstacles. And then I need my heart to just trust. And so and that's how I picture it, is I just kind of bring it to myself of like, this is mine, I get to keep it, and it is my protection, and it's my reminder, it's everything I need to be, but also I'm going to use it to try to limit the amount of stupid things that I do. And so, yeah, I don't know. That's how I've been doing it. And even if I have to like physically put my hands together and act like I'm grabbing that and bringing it to myself, I will do that just to, I don't know, make it physical and visual that way.
Yeah, you're a real high feeler. You're an intuitive feeler, so that would work for you.
Hmm.
Going for your feelings. My feeling is not, I don't feel things as much. I mean, I do, but not as much. And so I have to have it come showering down on me in order for me to connect with feeling. You know, I need a lot.
Yeah. No, yes, I love that. And I love our differences.
Hmm.
Hopefully
Hmm.
people can take, whatever they need, the bits and pieces that they can use to create their own system. And yeah, I know there are a lot of people struggling right now and learning to go with the flow and, ride the wave, ride the roller coaster is going to be, I think, what really helps them. And so using practices like that, like you were saying, look out in nature and see what message you get. And, for me, playing with my herbs and my plants helps me, you know, um, listening to your stones and things like that. There are so many things that we can do to tap into this entire world and universe and ecosystem around us that we are a part of, and we were built to be a part of it. And I think that's the other thing that people forget, especially when they're struggling, is that you're not alone. You are literally built to be on this earth with everything that you're surrounded with, and use it. Use it, to get where you need to go, or at least um to help give you comfort, or your messages, or I don't know.
And maybe we have Neanderthal in our DNA in our family. And maybe that is why we see things and hear things and, that sort of thing. Uh, but that doesn't mean that uh, people who are Cro-Magnon only and not Neanderthal as well, that doesn't mean that they don't connect with everything. It's just that the way that they do that will be different.
Yeah.
And maybe with if somebody has more intellect, maybe they'll think their way through something. And if they can just have a quiet few minutes, they might use their mind and work out the problem and within their mind, they'll work it out and they'll think of all the different things. And when they reach that calm spot of their thinking, then they know that that's the way to go.
Hmm.
So, and I'm not a real good thinker.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, no,
but that's not me, but I know people who are.
yeah,
And they can like when they play chess. I mean, I play chess, but when they play chess, they play like 20 steps ahead.
right,
They're
right.
and so people like that, uh, uh, when they get that, when they know it's called being in the zone. So when they're in the zone of their thinking, they're on the path that they need to go on.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. I'm always jealous of those people. I wish I was more of a thinker, but I am not at all. I feel like as soon as I start trying to think too hard about something, that's when I start to get myself in trouble.
Yeah,
So,
I get confused.
yeah, yeah, I will talk myself in and out of so many different
Mhm,
things and come
mhm.
out behind. So, I have learned that as soon as I start mulling it around in this brain of mine, that I'm going to be getting in trouble soon. So, it's time to step back and just let it go. And the
That's
message
why
always comes to me.
I respect other people's way of
Mhm.
handling life.
Yeah,
I understand that we're not all the same. And yeah, and some people really, it takes sound for them to get back into place. So they'll put on music.
mhm.
They'll listen to, and some people who are high thinking and they're high audient with sound, the words in the sound, what they listen to has to be important.
Mhm.
And people who like sound but don't like, they don't listen to the words, then they
Yeah.
just want music or something that you don't pay attention to the words. So
Hmm.
everybody has their way.
Yeah. Yep, that's such a good reminder. I love that. And guess what? Everyone in your family is going to be different too. So,
I know it's
you're,
fun to watch a bunch of little kids and how they
yeah.
act and what they respond to. And you can tell just, I
Mhm.
used to volunteer at a first grade class, and I had so much fun watching these little kids and how they would
Mhm.
all respond differently to the same stimulus, but some of them are very physical. And so there was no way they could sit still. They were
Right.
up and like almost dancing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the way my 5-year-old is. That girl's always moving,
Hmm.
always.
Hmm.
And yeah, she loves music. As soon as you put it on, yeah, she's almost in a different world and she loves it.
Yeah, you can always tell people like that because if they're not in a good mood and they put on music that gets them in a good mood, they will. But
Yeah.
some people who are heavy thinkers, you put on the music and they can't think anymore
Right.
and they're
Right.
not
Yeah.
happy about it. You know, turn it off. They need time to think and they
Yeah.
need the quiet to think.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting. Everybody has a little bit of a different way,
Yeah. Yep. And
but
like
our
you
goal
said,
is the
just
same.
respect it. Yeah.
We're the zombie toad waking up, and we need what we need to wake up. Now, the zombie toad needs rainfall in the desert. It knows to wake up when the rain comes. So each of us has something that we need to wake us up.
Yeah. I love that. That's such a good analogy. Yep, that is perfect. So yeah, everybody keep checking the sky at night or in the early morning and see the stars. And yeah, pay attention to your dreams. What else? What were our other messages today? I'm trying to think of everything we went through. So you get your amber out if you have some.
And remember, everything that we're doing is really, we're trying to awake everyone to removing that veil of forgetfulness over us.
Yeah,
We all have it. And we're trying to lift that veil from
yeah,
ourselves so we know
yeah,
more. And
yeah. And that's,
yeah,
I think right now that's a good reminder too, because a lot of people are, I don't think purposely, but they are accidentally getting roped into all the arguments that go around with, you know, all the new stuff with presidencies and things like that. And it is easy to get roped into that, especially if you're online all the time or on social media all the time. And guess what? Your goal is not to get roped into that. Your goal is to, focus on you and lift the veil. And you're going to see the rest of it from a completely different point of view that is so much more healthier than what you see if you're only, getting on Facebook and reading all the angry posts, even if you agree with them. If they're angry, they are not, anger and hatred are not getting you any closer to where you want to be in any aspect of your life at all. And so I don't know. I think that's just a good reminder is
Right.
our purpose is lifting the veil and,
And
connection and
remember what Martin Luther King said? He said, it's something like he chooses love because hate is too much of a burden to carry.
yes, yes. Yep. Very powerful quote. And it is so true. And yeah, so I don't know. I think that's just a good reminder. And I'm only thinking that because I've probably had 4 text messages today from people saying, how do I not let anything affect me? Well, first of all, get off social media, but just remember,
Choose
and
again.
choose again. Yes, choose again. Um, and yeah, what I
Choose
told my
love.
mom is if somebody says something nasty to you, picture it coming out of a 4-year-old child who is just repeating what they heard because they do it innocently. They're not trying to be they're just a kid. So just picture that person's inner child spewing some crap they don't understand and love them for it and move on. Like, don't let it get to you. That's the weird thing I'm doing right now. Oh, goodness. So that was a tangent. Uh, all right. Okay. Well, thank you, Casie, for joining me and for teaching all of us the way that you always do. I appreciate it so much, and I love our conversations.
And yours.
Oh, thank you. And thanks everybody for joining us. I noticed our listeners are growing on Apple and Spotify. So that's kind of fun to see that. And
Welcome.
if anyone has any, questions or any topics they want us to talk about, feel free to comment anywhere. We'll see it and we can bring it up and talk about it. So awesome. Okay. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.